Hello everybody. Today we are going to look at a frequently asked question in your Ielts speaking. Alright, talk about a book that you have read. Or it could be sometimes talk about a book that you have read and would like to read it again. Okay, or a book that you would like to read or a book that you have read. Okay, so I've seen that some candidates are really struggling to get exact answer for this question. Sometimes you don't have the habit of reading. You might be struggling to get the exact answer. Okay, so if you have already read some stories, sometimes you might have read and studied as a part of your syllabus, like in the college or school, you could talk about the same. That is not a problem here. Okay, then you can actually talk about, or if you have a person who inspired you in your life, you can talk about that particular motivational books as well. Okay, here I would like to give you some vocabs and some strategies how to use that one. Okay, so you can also talk about in a different way. Today I would like to talk about a book which I have read and would like to read it again, that is Wings of Fire. Right, it's an autobiography of former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. All right, he was an exemplary leader and he was one of the famous scientists in the world. Okay, so yes, I remember it was 2 years ago I read that book. It was gifted by my friends. When I went through the pages, it was quite amazing. He explains clearly the trials and tribulations or the challenges or hardships that he has faced in his life. So it's truly an inspirational book, or I would say it's truly a motivational book. He explains step by step, especially he explains the challenges that he faced in his childhood. However, he focused more on his gaining knowledge. He explains step by steps development of his career as a scientist. And in between, he also explains failures and success. So there are many failures and success stories is clearly explained in that book. That book was amazing. When I went through the pages, that really motivated me. And moreover, he advises youngsters especially to dream, especially to fulfill their dreams and their ambitions. So that really inspired me a lot. Well, if there is another questions like talk about an inspiring leader, you could also talk about this person. Okay, because you can talk about the content of that book and it will be more or less saying the persons and his character. Okay, so he was a down-to-earth personality. His character was quite amazing and he was very simple, calm and quiet. He explains the stories of his success. And finally, I read it. An influential person, right? An influential person in my life. Or if there is a question, talk about an influential leader or a person, you could talk about the same situations or same case. Here, if you talk about APJ Abdul Kalam, he was the former president of India and one of the greatest scientists of the world. You could say he was such an influential person, right? Especially his behavior. And you could also talk about how you got inspired, because you have read that particular book, Wings of Fire, which really motivated me, right? And he became one of my favorite leaders in my life. So I have followed many steps that he has suggested. That really made a great change in my life. So you can talk about that particular person who influenced you in your life. Okay, so this is the way. If there is a question particularly about a book, you can speak about that person and you can speak about that book as well. So you'll get a lot of idea. So if you prepare this particular topic really, and it will be like two birds with a single stone. So there are some questions in IELTS. If you prepare one or two topics, and that would be highly benefited, even you could speak about that person. For example, an inspiring leader, you can talk about this person. A book that you have read, stories are more or less same. Okay, so this is the way how it should be. Okay, and finally, I'd like to talk about some vocabs that you can think of. Right, okay. I've read many books. I read a lot of books from the different genres. Okay, like novels, dramas, stories, essays. Okay. So you could also talk about the particular book was a page turner. Okay, that particular book was a page turner. That means quite exciting. He was truly, inspirational. It was truly inspirational and motivational. Okay, and you could also talk about that. I've told you that hardships, trials, and tribulations, the challenges that they faced in their life. So try to use always better vocabs, then you can elaborate that story. If you have a basic idea about that particular book, you can elaborate by adding a lot of ideas into that particular story. You can elaborate that story. So if you, then it will be quite comfortable. You can speak about a book that you have read or a book that you like to read, and also you can talk about the same way, talk about an influential person in your life, right? So this would be highly useful. Thank you very much indeed for your time. I hope it helps you to improve your speaking. All right, be confident, practice consistently. We need a rigorous practice. Okay, if you want a better score, you need some preparations in your speaking, right? Especially we are lacking, sometimes we are struggling to get ideas. We don't get ideas. So that is the reason actually there will be inhibition or a block when you speak. Okay, so we need consistent practice. You can go through one topic and prepare, then you can gather some ideas, you can elaborate it. All right, so that's all for today. I hope it helps you to improve your speaking score. Thank you very much. Have a great day and bye for now.